Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's see if I can come up with a pre-game question that you guys haven't answered yet. Have we discussed how your characters deals with hot and cold weather?
No, I don't think we have.
Okay, so this question is, how does your character deal with 105-degree weather, and how do they deal with 15-degree weather? Yeah, just kind of the two different extremes.
Ruda has like metal skin, so it doesn't really bother him. He used to hate the cold though. That's partially why he got the metal skin.
Okay. That's cool.
Wait, Ruda, is it metal skin? Are you all metal or just metal skin?
Metal skin and then metal muscles, basically.
I would think that gets really difficult to deal with in the cold.
Yeah, because if you have metal skin and just like fleshy interior, you would actually probably cool down quicker.
Well, it's also not it's not human metal. It's scale thin metal equivalent, which are actually closer to bioplastics.
Even still, it'll in the cold it would get more brittle. So like if I punch Ruda in the cold, will he shatter?
That's I mean, I think that the bigger issue is that Ruda is very big, and if you punch him, you better hope he shatters the first time, because he's big and he has 4 arms. He's basically that one dude from Mortal Kombat.
Look, Goro.
I can't think of many materials that don't get more brittle, but metal does distinctly get made.
Yeah.
So, what's with MX8? Because I imagine that MX8 would be kind of unfazed by weather.
Yeah, mate just likes to wear scarves, so hot or cold, just wearing a scarf.
Okay, good. That's the content I'm here for.
What does Mate feel about like snowball fights and like igloos and?
On their home planet, they had the opportunity to mess around in some like subarctic temperatures, but never really had the option to ever build anything. So that would be a new experience for Mate.
Yeah, that's very sad, because Mate was on a planet that had people and like got to watch the people, but they never like. They were not part of society except for a very short period there at the end when they started developing their vigilante sauna.
Yeah, it was never like those like old Christmas animations where it's like, hey, we're just gonna build a Frosty and he comes to life.
So, Aeneas, I would love to hear Aveline's answer.
Aveline is absolutely like over the top when it comes to dealing with the weather. I imagine she's the type where she has a whole dedicated summer closet and then a whole dedicated winter closet that she swaps out as needed. She just like keeps them in the Gemini's storerooms, and it really pisses off Ilya every time. She's like, hey, so we're going to a really cold planet, and I understand that my summer closet's in my room right now, but I need my winter closet if we're going to the cold planet. So can we get somewhere down there to get like my winter closet? And Ilya just gets really upset about it every time.
That's fantastic, especially because this is a good time to answer this for NPCs, which I rarely do. Ilya does not like the fact that weather affects her at all, and she gets very angry at the idea of variable weathers, and that's why she just spends all day every day on the Gemini where they have fucking temperature control.
I'll stay up here with my central air and my life support systems. You guys can go and explore the planets.
Wait, have we heard from you yet?
Who was that?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Roy. Roy is who I meant to say.
Roy reacts the exact same in cold as he does hot, which is no reaction at all. His body does demonstrate like the physical reactions to heat and cold, like sweating or like chilly looking skin or whatever, but mentally he doesn't, the difference in temperature doesn't register to him the same as it does. He doesn't acknowledge it the same as organics do. So doesn't really care, and he's wearing that same long trench coat in both weathers.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just good, practical. It's got a lot of pockets. It protects you from knife attacks.
It's funny because like it's not super well suited to either extremes, like desert heat or like tundra cold, but he still wears it in both environments, or he would still.
Yeah. Nope, I like that. So that's an interesting, because Roy, we've established that Roy's like scouting proficiency came from his time with Red Corp and being like an assassin that he doesn't necessarily remember, but he still picked up those skills from his work with Red Corp. When he was working for Red Corp, was he kind of like required by corporate policy to wear like specific uniforms in specific weather, or was it a like you're dropped off on the planet, figure it out?
Yeah, no, I don't think that they had any kind of specific uniform or anything like that. The assassins that are sent out by the Children of Mindenshire and kind of like constructed partially by Red Corp operate more as autonomous cells. A little bit decentralized. So they let him wear whatever he wanted to wear without really giving a fuck. As long as he got the job done, that was all they really care about.
Okay, I like that. Amil, I think you're the only one we haven't heard from yet.
Yeah, mine's probably going to be the most boring answer.
Amil doesn't feel temperature.
Yeah, so the nuclear decay that like sustains the version of life that like that is like not temperature independent, but on like human scales, it's essentially so like going from 0 degrees Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit is like Amil feels that like going from 79.0001 to 79.002. Like it's, you know, like you have to get temperature differences in the like tens of thousands of degrees for like it to affect the rate at which like Amil's body functions, right?
I gotcha.
Yeah.
And also we've established that
It's kind of a non-issue.
we've established that Nova are entirely capable of living in space with no atmosphere. So that means they are kind of by definition
Nuclear
cool
decay
with-
continues to happen at like the temperatures of space.
Yeah, so they're fine at pretty much absolute zero, and if anything, would have some problems with like high temperatures, maybe, but they don't have to be.
They're by it's like they're
You're right, because they're good at, they can chill on stars as well. They can chill on stars and they can chill in the vacuum of space.
right. I mean, they're like lizards, except that like their biology doesn't stop. Their biology doesn't have a lower rate. Like they work faster at higher temperatures, but they don't stop existing and stop being able to live at like 0.
I gotcha.
No, it's kind of boring.
No, I mean that was a good answer.
No, put me in front of put Amil in front of like a particle beam or in the center of the sun, and he's like, ooh, it's like a sauna for him. But, like, other than that,
okay, so let me navigate to my roll 20 here. So last time you guys were looking for Duke Lavoie, I believe, who is the father of Esperes, who is your employer, and you had gotten some clues that he was on this planet at one point, separate from the Fire Spring Festival, and that he traveled from the main city down across this what's that word that's like a river, but it's really big and it like separates two major land masses?
What?
Archipelago.
Collection of islands.
Okay, well, strait or no, because archipelago is land.
No,
Like a channel?
Oh,
Like a
Yeah.
thin. That's just a straight.
Thank you.
straight.
So you learned that he had headed over this strait for a period of time, and that he went missing along with his ship afterwards, but has not left the system. So, according to all evidence, he is still in the system, but he went back to get his ship after, several weeks of taking intermittent trips down across the strait.
I think that we were planning on talking to people in the towns, right?
So there are two towns down there. Well, towns. There are two little communities.
Villages.
Yes. On the other side of this strait that you could talk to. But just as we were getting over there, you got a call from Liko and Otema, who informed you of a rumor they were hearing about some ghosts that would appear at night and kidnap people and steal things from the city, and nobody has ever managed to catch them, and that doesn't necessarily tell you anything about his trips over the street, but it might explain why he just suddenly disappeared one day. So that is another clue for you guys to investigate. Where do you guys want to begin?
Weren't we heading east?
Well, that is where, if you go east from the main city, that's the direction that the ghosts were always seen traveling after their like raiding sprees.
Ruda's not afraid of any ghosts.
So do you want to go for the ghosts, or do you want to go for the little villages?
I feel like we'd have a harder trail if we go toward the ghosts.
Okay.
Enough
Aveline?
people were talking about the ghosts that we should go check them out.
Yeah, and Aveline, it was your friends who alerted you, so I feel like you might have opinions on this.
Oh yeah, Aveline's definitely interested in going out and checking out the ghosts.
Oh, I remember the goat. Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys do not know where the ghosts are. We have this point on our map, but that was just while we were like brainstorming what the planet looked like. That's not a known location. And also, I mean, you, the players, know that it exists, but you don't know where geographically it is anyway. So
Points into our like huts as soon as we get the like.
as soon as you got the mission,
Yeah.
it shows you your next checkpoint. No. So, how do you guys want to go about figuring out how to proceed?
So you said we don't know where specifically to go, but we have a general geographic location. Are there any like?
You know that they headed east after leaving the town, but that is all that your characters know currently, because all you heard were secondhand rumors from Otema and a very drunk Liko.
Could we theoretically just start traveling east and then stop by and like maybe question like small villages if we happen to pass through them. Like, hey, have you guys seen any ghosts coming through?
Yeah, maybe you could go to the town and start heading east and start like looking for trails or something.
Yeah.
Hey, any of your children go missing lately?
Also, I'm guessing that, like, ghosts are specifically separate from the warp. I don't think Aveline would have any way of, like, following them if she opened her third eye, would she?
Ghosts are warp entities.
Ooh. Can I open my third eye and see if I can pick up a trail?
I mean, so first step, you guys are going back to the main town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You guys kind of make a checkpoint for where you've left off on this southern trail, and you'll come back to this later. You guys all hop in the Galanga and head back to the main city. You again get parked in the like what I've been imagining as basically, if anybody's ever been to Renfest, just kind of the shit show that is the parking at Renfest.
Swear to God, if anybody dings my ship.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the fact that your ship is very likely to get graffitied.
Oh, well, graffitied is fine because I stole the ship anyway. So it's actually there's some advantages to having some graffiti.
Has Amil allowed Aveline to graffiti their ship?
Aveline, do you want to graffiti my ship?
If Amil is fine with Aveline graffitiing his ship, Aveline is absolutely going to graffiti the ship. And considering Aveline has been on this planet before, I would like to headcanon that we might get our ship, like, vandalized, but I would think that some people in the area generally have an idea of who I am, and they're just like, maybe don't tag that ship. Tag any other ship.
I think it's more of like a quid pro quo thing. They try to tag your ship with something really cool and then like sign it so you'll come and give their ship a cool tag.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There's no question though, because Amil would never have thought to ask, hey, Aveline, do you wanna paint my ship? Would Aveline have asked me? Because I would say, yeah. We could retroactively go back and say you've been like free reign tagging my ship.
But I kind of like the idea that Aveline never like would have thought to ask, and so she's just been living with this like constant desire, unspoken desire this whole time. What do you think, Anais?
I totally think it's definitely an unspoken desire. I imagine that she's like really on the nose about it. Like she's like, she'll go into like the ship bay and she'll see Amil working on the Galanga and she'll be like, the Galanga sure does have a lot of space to work with. It could look a lot better. It's a great ship, Amil, but she never wants to, like, she never says, I'd love to paint it. Let me paint it.
No,
God, the Galanga just has so much surface area.
So
yeah.
We could go back in time and say that, like, the very first time we pulled into Fire Spring Fest, it got graffitied. And when I didn't care, you questioned me about it, and I was like, oh, yeah, go to Tim.
Fantastic. Okay, so that is just duly noted as a thing that has happened during your time here. Aveline, can you make a skill roll for me? Whatever skill you think would be appropriate to correspond to graffitiing somebody's ship who has graffitied your ship. I mean, it could be like intuition, because like artists' intuition to come up with the best composition and stuff.
Intuition was probably what I was going to go for. It definitely looks closest among what we're working with.
Yeah. I think that especially because graffiti is a very, like, you might plan it out in advance, but it's a very living, fluid art form.
So I think it's definitely one of those, like, she does it when the mood strikes her and she lets the paint speak for her.
Okay, so make an intuition check, and I'll give you a +2 bonus because this is a specific usage of it that you're...
We got a 12.
Ooh, 14. All right, so you make a why don't you tell me something about the graffiti you threw down?
Ooh. I'm trying
Is
to
this
think of what...
revenge graffiti, or is this like quid pro quo, like they gave me a nice graffiti, so I'm gonna give them a nice graffiti thing?
Yeah. So wait. Am I covering up the graffiti that was on the Galanga, or am I putting...
You'll be able to track it back to whoever did it, and then graffiti their ship.
Oh yeah, well then, I think Aveline's probably going to go the route of whatever they painted on the Galanga, she's painting back on their ship, but she's like upping the grandioseness of it about like 5 times.
Fantastic. Okay. I love it. Okay. So you guys are in the city. You have finished getting a lunch break while Aveline goes to do this. Aveline, so we haven't talked about what this festival is really like, but I have to imagine that there are a lot of like vendors where you can get like shitty festival food, except because this is like the scum of the galaxy thing, there's also just like a lot of like shitty festival drugs at these same vendors. So you can get like, some like deep fried Twinkies with a side of super weed. So that's probably what you guys are doing for lunch. How do you guys want to go about pursuing the ghost? What's step 1?
Do we have any contacts here in the city that might be into the occult?
You know that that Liko heard a rumor about it. Okay, so we should go find Liko. Okay.
Was Liko sober enough to remember?
Yeah. So I won't transfer us over to the map just yet. But Otema was with her, and Otema is very sober.
So I'm a little confused as to how we got to where we are currently. Sorry, maybe I missed something in the very beginning of our call. But like last I remember, we were over here looking across the strait, and I thought you said something about we were seeing ghosts. But like, I'm not. Why did we leave this area? I don't understand.
You guys weren't seeing ghosts down there with you. You got a call from Liko, who is in the main city, about a rumor they had heard about some ghosts, and they thought it might be relevant to your investigation. So you guys decided to put the journey to the south on hold for now and go look into the ghosts instead and see where that leads.
Okay, Roy did not. Roy is still sitting at that point waiting for the rest of the party. He's running some other calculations and investigations, and yeah. He's standing watch. Standing watch on the strait. Or near the strait.
Interesting. Okay.
Now, I just don't understand why thematically, like, we would have come all this way, gotten a phone call, and then been like, okay, let's turn around.
I mean, you're just like pursuing clues as you find them. So,
yeah.
What I'm going to do then is I'm going to have does anybody else want to say that their characters stayed behind with Roy?
Well, I could because I'm driving the ship, so if people want to go back, I have to take them.
Mate or Ruda or Aveline, do any of you guys want to stay back and continue the southern investigation?
Yeah.
I feel like my eye will be important for the ghosts. So
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pursuing the ghosts because I think Ruda associates them with demons.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, Roy is staying there, like running a series of like spectral analysis of like the air, the geography, trying to see if he can get satellite views from any possible satellites floating around above the planet, that kind of thing.
So we're going to have Team Robot. We're going to have Roy and Mate continuing the investigation down south, we're going to have Amil, Aveline, Aveline, and Ruda doing the ghost investigation. I think that. Okay, so I think that what's his name? Hunky elfin guy, Anwar. Anwar is gonna travel with Aveline's group, as he is apt to do, and the Samantha is going to travel with Mate and Roy because she's interested in the investigation side of things. Okay, so let me start with Team Ghost, and then we'll do Team South afterwards.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so Team Ghost. We've got Amil, Aveline, and Ruda as our player characters. You guys went to look for Liko and Otema as a starting point? Okay, so Liko, you guys are able to find them in, no, I think what you actually find them in is they are hanging out in their equivalent of the Galanga, their ship that they use for traveling to and from planet. And yeah, Liko is just passed out in bed, and Otema is looking after her. So what Otema is able to tell you is that there is okay, yeah. So Otema directs you to the informant that she heard about the ghost rumors from. And it is a kind of like a teal-haired girl that she ran into in a bar, and she gives you her description and gives you like the general part of town that she was in, so you guys can go look for her. Is that what you guys are gonna do?
Yep.
Okay. So let me delete. Move players. Okay, and and let me get rid of all the people who aren't with you. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, it's these four. Okay, so you guys follow Otema's lead, and you're going to run into a lady who is still hanging out at the bar. She's a lady you guys actually met recently, and it is Hatsune Miku again.
Oh god.
Yeah, here's the thing. I committed myself to having her as a character, and now she's just going to be a character. So I have to just like live with my mistakes, and you all have to live with them too now.
Can you remind me where she was from?
Yeah, so you guys met her. Amil, I don't think you were there, but Roy and Anwar went. Yeah, you met her and a couple other people in the Turkish death bath.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's where you've met her before, and all right. So I think you guys head into the bar and you see her, and she waves and she goes, Oh, hey! I think I saw you guys before. How's it going? Were you looking for, like, I don't know, some old guy or something?
Ruda looks at the bartender and raises his hand, puts a German 3 up, and then says, 3 Pangalactic Gargle Blasters, please.
Okay, this is German.
Had to specify the German 3, huh?
Yeah, I've seen Inglourious
Right in
Basterds.
the goddamn basement.
Fight in the goddamn basement!
Mexican stand-up.
Okay, so the bartender hooks you up with 3 Pangalactic Gargle Blasters, which I'm pretty sure we've decided are just a horrible, horrible drink. That's got some there's an energy drink mixed in there. It's traditionally served in a 2-tiered glass with a double straw, and it's a crazy twirly straw too. It's a real experience. So
Ruda looks at the bartender. He's like, "All right, these are good enough. 3 more."
okay, so are these all for you?
Yep.
Or are you sharing?
Well, 2 of them are for Ruda, and then he passes the rest around.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if anybody else has eaten Pangalactic Gargle Blasters before, but this is Ruda's favorite and only drink
Yeah,
besides space whiskey.
yeah, the Ruda drink of choice. So
I drink it, but
From the
it
sands
has
of-
no effect on my body, and I'm confused.
yeah.
Sometimes he drinks whiskey from the sands of planet Scotland, but most of the time it's Pangalactic Gargle Blasters.
From the waters of space, Lake Minnetonka.
Oh my god. So Planet Scotland is a thing now.
Yep.
Okay, so Hatsune Miku, I assume you offer one of the drinks to her.
Yep.
Alright, she graciously accepts it and immediately starts just going to town on it.
Ring fire.
Yeah,
Oh, is the other one for Aveline?
I mean, I think he's just sharing them. So.
Yeah, I'm I bought drinks for everybody and then took 2 for myself. But you have to check the quality of these kinds of places first.
Yeah, totally. Sometimes they'll use
Naturally.
yeah, sometimes they'll use Monster instead of Red Bull. You just need to throw it straight out.
Right.
Yeah,
Sometimes they'll use gasoline instead of rocket fuel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fucking
that would
worthless.
be that.
Ugh. Yeah, no, this place is good though. This place knows the clientele it's catering to. Alright, so you guys get things going. Hatsune Miku is a pretty amicable guest. How do you guys want to go about this investigation?
Ruda wants to immediately go hunt down the ghost. So he's trying to find out all he can about the ghost and where to find them. And
Okay, so you just ask straight up.
Yeah, can we ask her if she knows anything about the teal-haired girl?
She is the teal-haired girl.
Oh, I was curious.
you don't have to forgive my friend. She's had one too many Pangalactic Gargle Blasters.
Let me speak to your manager. I am the manager.
Okay, so you guys just ask what's up with these rumors of ghosts that you hear about?
Yeah.
Okay, so Hatsune Miku is going to tell you that they actually get pretty quiet around festival time, but in the other times of the year, and she knows this because she is one of the few residents that actually lives in this town full time, they will occasionally hear strange sounds at night and come out and they'll see shapes draped in shapes with a flowing fluid shape to them. And to illustrate this, I think she picks up her bar napkin and kind of swooshes it back and forth. And they'll see them, and they'll sometimes they appear in these like strange vehicles that are totally silent, and they'll grab sometimes just like chairs, or they'll like rip parts out of cars, or sometimes they'll, so you see how the whole town is kind of made up of like a ramshackle collection of buses and stuff. Sometimes they'll just like grab a whole bus and stick it as like a trail hitch on their vehicle, and then the ghosts float off into the night, followed by their vehicle and whatever goods they've stolen. You suspect, given like what you're picking up from her and just like what you know about the town, that the rumors about children being kidnapped are likely untrue, largely because there's no children on this planet, and there really should never be any children on this planet. This is an NSFW planet.
Why not? Why are there no children here?
Ah.
Oh no.
Said the C
So,
word, sorry.
Amil, Aveline, Ruda, what are your thoughts?
I think that we need to just like tracker on some equipment, and then when make some equipment as bait. Inquire as to like, is there a particular type of like thing that ghosts usually like to take, and then put a tracker on.
So that is
Like where your
a
head's at.
it's a good route, but as she mentions, the ghosts stay away during festival season.
Well, damn.
So it would probably be several weeks before they come back.
We put a trailer out in the middle of like no man's land, and like a juicy trailer with no one around.
No, I really like that. Aveline, can you make an occult check for me?
Yes, I can.
Alright, how we doing? Wait, that's a... Okay, occult 10. So, this is a pretty easy thing. You know that this doesn't fit the behavior pattern of, like, capital G ghosts. For one thing, most ghosts are insubstantial unless they were able to travel through a warp tear. And if there was a warp tear on this planet, the planet would probably be more fucked up than it already is. And even when they appear in the material world, they tend to be kind of transparent and just, among other things, ghosts, like, the stealing behavior is weird. We're getting into some, like, Scooby-Doo shit, where, why is a ghost stealing a trailer?
Is it really ghost? It's just like
Old Mr. Jenkins in a blanket. So, that's what you're picking up, Aveline. If you want, you can go to the location of one of the last thefts, which would have been like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and check around in the warp for any clues. But do that knowing the information I just provided.
It might be a good idea just to like check it out, just to see if like anything seems suspicious, but I am also digging the idea of just setting up a trap for these people and following them.
Okay. So,
Be part of the trap?
okay, so first things first, you head over to the trailer section that Hatsune Miku mentioned, and you investigate the warp. The warp in this town is exceptionally noisy. because there's a lot of people here, and there's a lot of just like chaotic energy going on. One thing you notice is that there are a big number of Nephilim, which are the Imperial Angel warp entities. There are a lot of Nephilim in this town, which is probably weird to you at first because you don't see them often unless it's something that the like Empire is working on or somebody is like actively summoning them or something. But then you realize that the combined presence in this area is just so chaotic, and there's so many occultists and general like shithead wizards in this town that there's a butt ton of demons flooding to this town trying to trying to get any kind of demonic influence they can get going on. Maybe get somebody to like summon them or whatever. And the Nephilim are basically just going on like hunting season in this town. It seems entirely circumstantial.
Sign me up.
Yeah. So because of all that mess, any clues that might have been here at one point are like totally ruined. It's like it's kind of the spiritual equivalent of like, yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like the spiritual equivalent of if you imagine like Aragorn very carefully like tracking the hobbits, and he's going through the woods, and then he comes out of a trail, and then he ends up in Bonnaroo, and it's like, well, fuck, I can do nothing with this. So, do you guys want to move on to plan set a trap?
I'll be right back. I'm taking out the trash.
Okay.
Okay.
I was going to switch to the other team after that, but we'll switch. Anyways, just give me a heads up when Zai gets back. So, what do you guys want to set up for a trap?
What do you think, Amil?
I don't know. All right, so my imminent suspicion is that these are just like junkers dressed up as like. We gotta find. Let's find a person that's like really deep in debt with the mob, and buy their trailer off them for like pennies on the dollar.
Sure.
And then, like, I'm sure there's a lot of people in debt to the mob here.
Yeah.
We'll buy their trailer off them for pennies, and then we can, we'll just, dump it in the desert with a tracker.
Do you want to go for a trailer, or do you want to go for something a little bit juicier, like some kind of mech or helicopter or something?
Can we do a slightly modest school bus? Because I don't want to break our bank.
Mm-hmm. No, I like that. I think I've got a good.
Can we buy somebody's like scrap bus?
Fuck. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Scrap bus. Like, I don't know.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I want you to look on the map at the sprite that I'm dropping down, because this is the thing that you're able to get your hands on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're thinking of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys put a tracker on that, and then you dump it just somewhere in the desert off to the east. Okay. And then you guys are just going to sit in the Galanga and wait to see movement on the tracker?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, then that would probably be a good stopping point. Aeneas, is Zai back yet? Yeah, I saw it. I didn't have a chance to flip through it, but...
No, he's not back yet.
Okay, So, in that case, let's keep going on this thread. So, I think it happens that night. You guys are hanging out in the Galanga after a hard day of various levels of partying. Aveline, you and Anwar basically spent the majority of the day on the Galanga, just like playing competitive dating sims together, which is out of character for you because I think that Aveline usually parties hard at Fire Spring Fest. But she's in a weird place right now.
Yeah.
That all sounds accurate. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
While
So
we're waiting for the bus to get stolen, Alan can paint the ship.
Aveline, are you up for that at this point, or are you kind of still too out of it for that?
What, painting the ship?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would actually help Aveline get out of her head. It probably
Okay,
does a lot of good for her.
Okay, cool. So, you paint the ship, and that night, you guys are sitting in the Galanga, entertaining yourselves however you do, when you hear a beep from your tracking signal notification thing that the bus is on the move. How do you guys proceed?
It's time, boys and girls.
Yeah, it's time to follow that bus. We got our stakeout snacks, right?
I smell demons.
I mean, that's a good question because I imagine Amil does not stack the Galanga with good snacks. So I think.
Aveline and Ruda do.
I started doing that since I joined. Since I didn't before, but now I do.
Okay, but do you stack it with good snacks or do you stack it with like military rations?
Oh, I think that I stack
Plain
it
saltine crackers.
I think I like read what like organics needed, and then
Yeah.
I basically just like put like there's a few bars of Sterling in the back.
God.
Yeah. Has it improved since then?
Modestly.
Okay, so we're up to saltine crackers instead of Soylent.
Okay, so Aveline and Ruda have like a really good snack stash.
I have to imagine you guys have gone all out on buying like jerky and trail mix and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've really been at a festival for the last few days. I don't find it hard to believe that we're all running around with backpacks full of drugs and snacks right now.
Yeah, I totally imagine as much. So you guys are able to start heading after the You guys are able to start heading after the signal. Is Zai back yet?
Yes, he just got back, but he's not at the computer.
Okay, let me know when he's at the computer, because we're going to cut off of your thing soon. We're reaching a good point with this scene. So,
Okay.
y'all have your, y'all are in the Galanga heading after the bus. So
Yeah.
the bus is moving at an alarming pace to the east, like much faster than a bus would be able to drive, and faster than most like low-end ground vehicles go. So whatever is towing it is like a fairly nice, like high-end vehicle. Amil, as you fly the Galanga after them, you quickly notice a kind of a set of. So what I'm trying to describe is, imagine like old like Aztec kind of ruins, which I mentioned specifically because I'm looking at the icon we have down there. But instead of being made of old, like worn down stone, it is made of just decades and decades of scrap metal that has been welded together into like it's scrap metal, but it has been welded together into primitive shapes, like the kind of shapes that you would see in an old village, and then grown over by plant growth and wilderness.
Interesting.
The bus is at the city by the time that you guys get within sight of it, and when you're looking down at it, you don't see the bus. You can kind of tell that it's like under something based on, the coordinates, but it looks abandoned. There's no fires on, there's no lights out. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do Aveline. I'm going to do a high pass over the city, and we can open the cargo door and like tie something around, like a harness around you to keep you from falling out, and you can like hang off the side of the galanga and like open your third eye and look down at the village.
Okay.
Oh, Aveline is totally into that.
Okay. This is great.
Oh, it's very like, imagine like clones from Attack of the Clones hanging out of those ships.
So make a perception, either a perception or an occult check, Aveline.
Okay.
Okay, 11. So Aveline, this town, this area is completely barren in the warp. It shows no more sign of life in the warp than the desert across from it. And okay, so it doesn't show signs of warp, of any living warp, not warp entities, but there are no warp shadows in this abandoned town. Can you make me an occult check in addition to that perception check?
Ooh.
Do you want to do something to give yourself advantage?
Let's see what I've got.
I mean, your high concept is Agent of the Children of the Warp, so that seems invocable.
Yeah, let's just invoke that.
Okay, so we're going to subtract one of your fate points, and you invoke Agent of the Children of the Warp. Go ahead and re-roll a... Well, hold on, let me see if it makes sense for you to re-roll it. Yeah, it does. Re-roll occult.
There we go.
That's much better. So, at first, I think you glance over it and you think, this place is just abandoned. And you maybe start heading back up into the ship. And then you take another look and you notice something that is weird. And it's very subtle. It's a thing that somebody who doesn't spend a lot of time looking in the warp and looking at warp locations wouldn't notice. Warp locations tend to take on the appearance of the area around them. There is in very in places of strong natural energy, the natural energy is what informs the warp. So when you look across the desert or over the sea, you see the spirit of the desert and the spirit of the sea reflected into the warp, and that's kind of what populates the warp base, the warp terrain. When you look over a city, you see a reflection of the city based on the thoughts of the people who have seen it. It is a reflection of the city, but a reflection with it's like a reflection that's made out of emotions and memories and thoughts.
Gotcha.
When you look at this place, you don't see any indication of the scrap metal buildings.
That's weird.
as if as if they were just like rocks that had popped into existence like that, as if nobody had ever thought about them.
Yeah, that's super sauce.
Yeah. Okay, and with that, Zai is good to go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back.
So, other team, there are 2 colonies that you guys could investigate. Let me drag you off to the side here a little bit. Oh, I apparently left my star down there as well. So, delete that star and delete that star. Okay. So
Analysis has revealed colonies on the island. Are you talking about Kya and
we're
Kya?
talking. So the things that we were talking about just now are happening with the group up top. What you the 2 areas that are around. So from the place that the ferry that you guys found the ferry at, there were 2 locations close to that are populated. There is a location to the north and a location to the south. You got a view of them from overhead while you were flying across the canal with the Galanga, but you don't know much specifics about them except for what they look like, and that is just like what I posted there. So, which do you want to check out?
So the flyover with the Galanga, we were seeing some stuff, but since MX8 and I were sitting here doing an additional analysis, and I was using the grav suit to like go up into altitude and look down that way and provide mate with digital images of what I've seen. Is there any further detail we can get about either location before we make a decision about where to go?
Probably. So the location up north has vehicles that are coming and going from it, and it has biosignals. It also has a few trace wireless signals that are associated with. There's like they have an open network, and maybe there's some sleeved people there. But it looks. All of the evidence you found is not very different than what you would see at a like gas station or something. People are coming and going. There are people there, but can you make a I guess perception check?
All right, 1 second.
And I'll use this check to determine what you guys know. Okay.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Can I augment that roll? Like, can I aid that roll?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
How are you aiding?
I feel like I should be able to pull up more detailed geographical data just based on my ability to like deep dive into the net around here.
Ooh. Okay.
Like, I'm used to being on derelict planets, and this just seems like one of those things where I would probably just dig into this before we jump down onto the planet.
Yep. Make a software check. Okay. That will get you the information. Make an intuition check.
Ooh, very low intuition.
Okay. Yeah, so you just did a quick search and just pulled up like the first map that came up. You have a map of the terrain of the area. You know that the space around that northern territory has a lot of, I mean, not a huge amount, but as these places go, a fair amount of varied, valuable resources. So it's possible that whatever is going on up there is some kind of mining situation. And the location to the south is you know that it's on the side of a mountain that does not have any valuable materials, and in both cases you know that they are relatively new, made in the past like few hundred years kind of things. So that's all I can give you guys with those rolls. Which one do you guys want to go to?
What are you thinking, Rory?
Did we get any detail on the one that's on the south?
You got no information about it except for what it looks like. From your flyover, you saw solar panels and some like gardens around it, and it looks much more prosperous than the like other things you've seen around here.
But the only activity is coming from this one in the north, right?
The one in the south, has
Like, do they both have biosigns there?
the one in the south has biosigns. I was trying to figure out how to quantify them. They have biosigns of some people, but not a lot. So maybe like a family lives there. They don't have it's not like a business.
So was there anything that we could find to distinguish between the two? We're thinking of the question, do we go north or south? But if there's not anything to determine there being any difference between the two, then it doesn't matter, and we can just dice roll that.
Well, I mean, you have evidence to believe that the place up north might be some kind of place of business, and the place down south might be a personal property. Just given the kinds of biosignatures and the kinds of stuff around them.
Okay. Mate, I think we should go to the place in the south. We've already visited one place of business while on this trail. Considering that we're looking for an individual, there may be more luck looking for them in a smaller group of biologicals with some sort of relation between them than those who are only out for money.
Okay.
What do you think, mate?
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Either on Google Images or on Pinterest, can you look for some kind of image that I could use as a map for just like a cozy hillside bodega? So, I'm going to have Kevin try to pull up something for that. In the meantime, I'm just going to enlarge this sprite. Also, I like that this sprite icon apparently has several kings on it. Oh, they're mascots. They're company mascots.
Yeah, is the Duke just a mascot on this planet?
It's possible he is.
I'm looking up Granada, like the hills of Granada. Apparently, Granada Hills is a really depressing suburb in California. it's just so night and day between Granada and Granada Hills, California.
Okay, so do you guys drive on over in that truck that you rented?
Yeah, that's what we had left. I think, unless Rory, you're following along your mag platform.
Platform's not endlessly usable, so yeah, we can go over in the truck.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a. Is it still able to take the form of the mag platform?
Yep.
Okay, so it can be one of 3 states. It is either suitcase, mag platform, or personal vehicle.
So it's the suitcase, mag platform, or I had a fucking name for it. Shit.
It's like an exosuit, right?
Yeah, it's basically like an exosuit.
Good. Okay. Yeah.
Like the N7 armor from Mass Effect.
So, yeah. Okay, so you guys head on over in the truck. Samantha's traveling with you. You guys get to the location, and how do you introduce yourself to this scene? Do you just walk into their property? Do you knock on a door? Do you honk the horn?
Oh no, now that we're close, I think we do another round of recon. And we do another, see if we can do some x-ray and spectral analysis. Do we see any traces of any warp signatures? Can we use the tech that we have to see through some level of walls? Just basically information to see like how many people are in there.
Wow,
what race of
you do
people
a
are in
lot
there?
of stuff when you're doing investigations. I'm just like kind of in awe of all the things you thought of. I kind of just look into like my internal analysis, which is just me looking to see what other Wi-Fi signals are coming from this place and which ones are private.
Oh, okay, this makes me happy. So, mate, you are able to sense that there is a Wi-Fi signal here. It is connected to a personal server, and the server is you would have to make a software check to hack into it.
Okay. Rory. Hey, there's some really weird stuff going on with the like wireless signals coming from this place, and I'm kind of creeped out by all of these mascots that seem to be looking at us all the time. I'm gonna try to see if I can get into it. Do you think that's the right thing to do, or do you need to do more stuff?
Before we have any direct interaction with any of these entities here, let me finish a recon pass on this. So we know there's strange signals coming out of the area so far. There's biologicals
Not
that
super strange. They have a Wi-Fi router.
non-conventional,
and
would you say, or
it's a Wi-Fi router, and so Mate is able to easily bypass the like what's it called, the SID, like the Wi-Fi like password to get connected to the Wi-Fi, but then everything beyond that is locked inside of a like unconventionally secure server. Given this kind of area, you would expect this kind of area to be like rednecks who don't have passwords on anything. Also, is a surprisingly like bougie building. That's another thing I can give you.
Like, is that unconventional given the area?
Yeah,
that we're
everything
in?
else.
Like this.
Yeah,
Looks
so it is
place.
It is
This
non-conventional.
is a trailer park planet.
So it's non-conventional for the area at least. Let's see. What else? Is it day or night right now?
Early afternoon.
Okay, because I didn't want to have a lighter up boys moment and use my divine light and just blow us out of the water. Like, hey, we're right here. So yeah, Roy, before Mate does any kind of attempt to like infiltrate systems or check systems out, I think I would use divine light or divine scion. I would use divine scion, but project it in a way that like I wouldn't be able to see it because of my organic eyes, but Mate would be able to see it.
Oh, cool! So you're creating non-visible spectrum light,
like a digital divine scion that only Mate can see.
Okay.
And are you just creating a signal with that? I have to check the stunts for what you can do with that ability.
It says you can summon forth divine light into an area. The light fully illuminates an area, but doesn't hurt one's eyes to look at. It appears like sunlight with a mixy texture that gives it a faint three-dimensional shape. This light can spring forth from a point on your body, such. Whoops, I scrolled too far.
You can grab that little
or fill up a zone or an adjacent zone. Okay, cool. So yeah, I can project it. some distances.
So are you just trying to fill the area with a non-visible spectrum light to maybe like get the attention of any non-human eyes?
Well, the idea is that like we're doing recon on this area, but we're standing a bit a ways back from it. So I can't see with any kind of clarity, like directly into the middle of this complex or anything like that. But Mate has robotic eyes. Mate has a robotic body. So when Mate is doing his software action to check out these unconventional or non-conventional Wi-Fi connections, that would be augmented by my divine light, so he could also see any kind of Nephilim that are around and in the area.
Awesome. And you're using the luck aspect of that as well, because divine light is the light of like blessings. So you are simultaneously improving his role. Where is
nice
over there?
What do you want? No, I got it. What do you want?
Power cable?
Sure.
Okay, so that has happened. So, Mate, you will roll with you have one advantage here, so roll with one free boost or reroll. So why don't you go ahead and make a software check for me?
Nice.
You do not. Okay, and with the boost, that's 18.
Yeah, we can see everything.
Yeah, so I have to imagine that this is like opening up some like block ports in my system and just like straight up saturating whatever the wireless signal is in this area.
Okay, so here's what you found. So there is kind of two layers going on. There is the Wi-Fi layer that is just, it's the Wi-Fi signal and it connects you to the internet. You get indications from several devices, but it's probably easiest to pin it down to like phones. You find 3 phones that are connected to it, so there's probably 3 people staying in the house. Interestingly, those 3 signals are not connected to the deeper layer that's going on. So the deeper layer is, there's like the outer layer that is just, you're connected to the router and you're using the router to access the internet, and that's it. The deeper layer is a server that is on site and is holding like information, and that maybe some like desktops or something are like hard connected to that server on like a closed network. So Mate, you are able to hack into that server without any effort, because you are network and you're great at this. The first thing you notice is that the security on this was way more advanced than you expected it to be. There was a layer of there was like a password, and then there were kind of like digital biometrics that you had to bypass and essentially make like a false digital ego to like get past them. So you've been here for a while getting into this system. You get into the system and you find some encrypted files. The files are they're encrypted with a hard decryption key, so you would need the actual like key card itself in order to decrypt them. Maybe you could decrypt it with time, but it would be hard and you would risk damaging the files in doing so. So the things that you know, there's a lot of files here, and this server, this like inner server, is connected by a VPN to another location. you are able to tunnel through that. I'm giving you a shit ton of information because you rolled an 18. You're able to tunnel through that signal, and you get a like geographical coordinates of where this other place that it is VPNing into is located, and I mean, it's somewhere to the south. So that's a lot of information. The big takeaway is somebody here had a connection to a very sophisticated, like, corporate kind of database. They were VPNs to another location. No devices are currently connected to that network. There's only 3 devices on site, and they're all just connected to the internet.
Can I connect to it?
To just the network that I was just describing?
Yes, like the one that no one else is on.
Yeah. So that was the stuff I was describing with the, like, encrypted files and stuff.
Okay, I think with that kind of a role, I'm probably not even cautioning Roy about it. It's just something really feels off, and I would want to press deeper just to see what I could find.
So the first thing you would find when you press deeper is that it is that inner network, the server, is connected by a VPN to a location to the south, and you find that location. The other thing you find is that there is a physical object decryption. So there's a physical key somewhere that is needed to decrypt some of these files. Do you have any specific questions I can answer?
Like, I just want to know what VIPs would have been interested in. Like, are there any log files? Can I trace any IPs to last connections?
You can trace. Okay, so you can trace last connections, and you get several personal information, like usernames and like account names and stuff. None of them mean anything to you. They aren't names you've heard before. But you do find one entry, which is an off-site remote access from a user E. Lavoie, meaning presumably short for Edmund Lavoie, which is the name of the Duke that you're looking for.
Finally!
There we go. Peter, I'll
the server here, but not from on-site.
Yeah, so that's definitely being remoted, and probably from another location. There's no way that I could figure out where the signal is being pinged from. Like, where's the VPN actually being hosted?
Yeah, you can. It corresponds to the tower on the map.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool beans. So I'm gonna do the thing where I log off of AOL, and Rory hears the little boom boom.
Yeah.
And I'll turn around. It's like,
what did you find?
Okay. So a bunch. Also, was I able to scrape that data and kind of pull that out so I can share that with the group?
You can pull the files, but they're going to be hard decrypted with a physical decryption key.
Got you. Okay, so then I'll just share specifically with Rory what I found, and that I think mostly what we're looking for is going to be at the tower. I don't know if this is a red herring though, and maybe it is still worth checking out this facility before we go.
That's the real question. There are 3 people on site that are connected to the internet, but are not connected to the server.
Yeah. And again, I
think that I think that what Roy would say, or what, not say, but the general feeling would be we already got all the information from this place that we needed. There's no reason to interact with these organics that are in this place. we know that our destination is the tower, and that there's some sort of a physical key that may be required to unlock whatever is being guarded. So the question at this point is really, do we tell the rest of the party to get their asses over here? Or do we go and do a short recon on the place ourselves and then tell the party to come by?
And a quick side note on that, I was going to, when our session ended, right before our session ended, I was going to suggest before we explore ghosts further, we meet back up with Roy and Mate. So that was
Yeah. We're gonna address that.
okay, cool.
So, what are you thinking, Mate? Do you
Okay.
want to get in touch with the other party or go check out the tower first?
I think at the very, because no one's communicated with us as of yet, like what they were plotting, like what their plan is. So we don't know what the other group is doing, right?
Roy and May look at their timepieces and are like, they haven't checked in yet.
Oh, that's a good point, because they had to wait until nightfall.
Oh, so we have some time to kill. Oh, can I do a thing while we're killing time then?
Sure.
I would like to steal one of the crowns from one of the kings.
Okay.
I don't know how intensive that is, but I want to steal one.
Notice from the 3 people that are on site as you do so?
Yes, and that's why I'm gonna look at Rory and go, all right, I don't care what we do next, but there's something that I want. I kind of worked hard for this information, so if you could help me, since you're such a great detective, I want one of those crowns. I don't care which one. I see 3. Get me one.
Yeah, great. So, you're gonna ask Roy to go in because Roy is the scout?
Yeah, I think Rory's better equipped for doing this kind of, like, I've watched Rory over the course of the last 4 missions,
Yeah.
and Rory's very efficient at doing things like this. And I think I would make kind of a bit of a stir if I was just running around. So I'm gonna let Rory do this. If Rory's cool with that.
Look through my let me look through my abilities real quick. and see
Mate,
if I can-
all right, so actually,
Yes. Okay.
well, okay, yeah, I was gonna say, Roy, if you want, you could roll stealth.
Yeah, I was going to say that I will roll stealth, but I'm going to augment that, or not augment, but I'm also going to call one of my stunts in with that roll, and it's going to be disc drone projection. So I'll be using that on the SAGs, which is what I named the mag platformer, renamed it the Sentient Armor Gravity Suit. So I'll be using the disc drone projector on SAGs to make a active camouflage stealth field around myself. So imagine, like, a stealth boy in Fallout 4. So I'm kind of looking like Predator, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that. So go ahead and roll stealth for me.
Oh, where's stealth? Oh my god, I have such a low stealth score.
Let's go, big
Very
money.
surprising.
There we go.
I have
you're
a
gonna
1 in stealth.
That's surprising. And you're going to have a +2 on that. So that is a 14. Really glad you rolled really well.
Me too. Because that
I'm
was going to
so
be really
happy.
bad. Like, so before Roy goes to actually do this, he kind of looks a little bit at Mate, just like, this is kind of weird, and seems like it could possibly derail the whole let's not notify these people who are in here that we just got all their information. But since Mate asked it, I'm going along with it, because I'm aware that I may not have the full view of why he wants this thing,
So
or why he's willing to risk for this thing.
with a 14, you head to the first one, the one on the ground floor, and it is a full, like, 3D mascot, and the crown is it's a single piece statue. The crown doesn't, like, come off. But looking around, you see that on the other 2 that are, like, hanging off of the building, they are more like cutouts, so you could more easily remove the crown from those than from the statue itself. So with a 14, you sleekly and quietly glide yourself up there using your
Sags.
Yeah, you're sad. You're mag suit. You get up there and you are looking through the glass windows into this building as you're like welder cutting this this helmet off with your beam saber. And I'm so glad that you guys gave me an excuse to drop in the people who live here, because they are not relevant to the plot at all, but I love them so much. And I love them as of like 30 seconds ago when I was desperately grabbing people.
And unreasonable amounts of emotional energy to invest in something you might not have ever been.
Yeah, you had that had no reason to come up. Okay, so Roy, you see on the third floor living room, it's like the whole third floor is surrounded in glass walls, and it's all just like one big party room. It's got like a billiards table on one side, it's got a theater sized TV. It's way too bougie, and 3 people are chilling in there, just like squatting on the couch and eating chips and like passing a controller around as they play a game. The 3 people squatting there are all teenagers, and how do I put this politely? They don't look like they grew up in the same environment as the person who commissioned this house. They're wearing rough, like, street clothes and traveling clothes, and they don't look like they are the original owners of this place.
Uh-oh. So Roy sees this, and there's just something that clicks in his head, sort of like Kill Bill. Children.
Roy has every time he sees a teenager.
Yeah, because he was an assassin.
Oh no,
Part of the children of Mendenshire. So like it's like game recognized game. Oh shit. So yeah, I don't think that Roy would do anything per se. I think that it would just make him be a little bit more careful and quick and get that crown off, and take it back down to Mate as quickly as possible. Because these out of place teenagers may be a greater threat than we are anticipating.
Well, it's a very good thing you didn't botch your stealth roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for giving that to me, and Mate can thank you for the crown that you give to him. So you guys get the crown, and you head out towards the tower.
Well, before we leave, Roy would have taken images, or would have at least gotten images with his distro projector, of each 3 of their faces. I don't know what significance, if any, this will have, or if it will have none at all. But I did record each one of their images. I'm going to share it with Mate, and then suggest that we get in contact with the rest of our team before we proceed to the tower.
Yeah, I agree that there's a lot more going on here than we
Yeah.
initially thought.
Okay.
And we shouldn't do this alone. So yeah, we're going to reach out to the other group.
So just for timing's sake, I'm going to retcon one thing. I'm going to say that you had some like car trouble on the way down here, and it ended up taking you until nightfall to get to the building. So now our 2 teams are synced up. It's the middle of the night for both of you. Mate, are you going to kind of like conference call over to the other team?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Mate, Mikhail, Mike, you conference calling the other team?
Oh, yeah. No. directly emailed Aeneas. I just reached out directly to Lenara and started just like sending her pics of all the
Nora,
garbage
you're
that
in
we
another
saw.
universe.
Are you telling them to get in touch with you, or are you just sending them an info dump?
Yeah, no, this is an info dump and it's on high alert and it's like, yo, please reach out to us immediately. We need help.
Okay.
You should
So-
highlight the Duke's name, the information about the Duke.
Oh yeah, no,
that's what we're
that's
here
in,
to look up. And like,
that's in bright red highlighter.
yeah,
So, party,
exclamation marks everywhere.
the creepy abandoned village party. It's been a little bit since we last left you. How would you guys go about investigating this village? Would you have landed the Galanga and gone on foot?
Oh, I literally would have. I would not have wanted to go in there without the entire party. I was when we switched over to the other group.
Okay.
I was literally like right about to suggest calling them and saying like, "Hey, we found a creepy abandoned like building that might be demons. Do you want to help investigate?"
Okay, so you guys get in touch with each other and do an info share. So now everybody knows what everybody else did in as far as people are willing to exchange said information. How do we want to proceed?
I guess we're going over there, right?
Well, I think we just gotta pick whether we want to do. Well, I think Mate and Roy need immediate help, so why don't we fly over?
I'm gonna give you guys a little like Deus Ex Machina info. The tower will take much longer.
Which is the tower?
The thing on the southern continent.
Oh, so the thing with.
Yeah.
Do we want to pick up? Roy and Mate? Do we want to pick up Roy and Mate and do our thing first?
I'm gonna give you guys something because I think it will very much affect that decision-making process.
Okay.
Aveline, as you were hanging down and scoping out the area, you were primarily looking with your third eye with both of your human eyes closed. But before you came up, you closed your third eye, opened your human eye, and you were just looking out over the town. And you saw a little robotic head peek back inside a window that it had been looking out of.
Oh, we gotta go check that out.
Yeah. So that information gets passed along. Roy and/or Mate, does that pique your interest?
Roy is going to stay here and wait for the rest of the group to finish their investigation. Just because I don't know, these three got me on alert, and there's a big spooky tower.
Okay, so Roy is going to be doing initial investigations of the tower, and Mate, are you going to go check out the robot city?
Yeah, I have to go check out the robot city.
I thought that Roy might actually be interested in that. It might be like...
It's a city of robots.
Yeah.
I mean, I clearly missed the mention of a robot city.
Okay, so
is that what this is right here?
No, so the abandoned ruins that Aveline and company are looking at are they have no
right here?
signatures.
The ghosts are robots, Roy.
Yeah, they have there's no signature indicating that any sentient living person has ever entered that city, and yet there are like robotic people that they spotted.
I need to think about for a moment how Roy feels about this. Roy stays where he is, because he thinks that he would be rejected. Because he is in an organic body. And he is disgusted with himself. And he doesn't want to show that to beings that he think may be of some significance. But he's going to continue to monitor the situation that the rest of the party is and keep
I'm
in
sorry, I
remote
missed that last part. Can you repeat that?
I was going to ask if.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So Roy basically is a robotic being, but he's in an organic body, and he is not proud of that organic body. So he doesn't necessarily want to go showing it to all and sundry of the people who he actually would have some respect for. So he's going to continue to monitor the points between the villa and the tower, but he's going to maintain a. I'm sending my disc drone with mate. And it's going to maintain a remote connection and allow me to communicate and participate through it that way, but I'm not going to show my physical self to them.
Okay, cool.
So I'm essentially trying to be in two places at once.
I love it. That is a very good usage of the disc drone. Let me find a.
What's happening?
I'm just looking at sprites, and I wanted to find a sprite to use for the disc drone, and I found the perfect sprite.
What is it?
It looks like a teddy bear, but also
Aww. A hippo?
It is a disc drone. So,
Roy, have you named your disc drone?
No. Names
I'm
are in
things person.
Names were an organic thing.
Yeah. Okay, so
it has a designation.
Okay, so
Third tertiary adjunct of Primarch 8.
Pin to
Amil has a name for it. Amil has
It's 7 of 9. Let's just call it
Give me just a second. I'm gonna find some good ancient ruins map. Okay, that's a candidate. That's a candidate. That's a candidate. That's a candidate. Which one do I want to use? Kevin, which of these do I want to use? This one? Or this one?
Wait. First one?
Ooh. Or this one?
I think the first, that's interesting, but I don't know. I actually think the second one's probably more appropriate. Those are like big statues of people. I don't know if that's the vibe you're going for.
Oh, are those people?
Yeah, those are big statues of like people.
Okay.
It's like
No, I can work with this. Okay, I'm using this one. I like this one. All right, so right click, save image as. Spacefare map. Okay, so party. How does the party group up and go about getting to this town? Do you guys send the Galanga down to pick up Mate and Roy's disc drone?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And the girl is gonna go with you as well. She's not staying with Roy.
I imagine Samantha does not like Rory.
Yeah, and Roy doesn't like her.
Okay, new map. Let me drop you guys down so I have something to work with for scale. Go to map layer. Maps and stuff. Find my file. HIJKLMN. All right, just gotta resize this map and then we're good to go. All right, that's a decent size. I'll go ahead and edit, make it a little wider. Map is all figured out. Save. Move the players over here. Okay, so it is now probably the next maybe just a bit before noon the next day because you guys needed to fly down, pick up the other people. Some of you guys probably needed sleep because, you know, as you do. How does the party want to go about investigating this city?
Can we just walk out to the front door and say hi?
I mean, other party members?
Aveline, do you want to check the warp?
Aveline has already checked the warp. There is no active like warp entities here, and
Okay.
no indication that anybody has ever been here.
Got it.
That's interesting. Can we make the disc drone fly ahead and, like, you know,
Fuck.
see if anything happens? Or see if anybody
Yeah.
comes out to investigate?
I was gonna say 3 of 6 I think 3 of 6 should approach first, and give them some sort of interface protocol that software typically does. So basically, instead of a handshake, the disc drone projector is going to introduce an API.
I love it. Okay, so
Or 3 of
just-
6 would be easier for me to say from now on.
Sure. So the terrain that I've given you is just kind of like the entrance to the village. And then there's more village behind it, but this is a good looking map, so I'm just gonna use this for the entrance. So 3 of 6 is going, they do not need to obey the laws of terrain, so they can just hop right up this cliff and approach. Yeah, let me
Part of that API would be basically notifying whatever is in charge here that there are organics in tow and we are requesting an audience.
Oh god. This wasn't the one that I was planning to use, but it's so good. It could be either. I think this one is a little bit closer to canon, so I'm gonna use that one. It's not quite as good, but it's still very good. Okay. So you enter and you just kind of express that as like a broad spectrum.
Yeah. not that we're not going like, take us to your leader. We're just like, is there anybody that we can talk to?
Mhm.
Anybody at all? It could be like the Walmart greeter, whatever. Just, what's up, guys? So I'm trying to be really peaceful, and not because the way Roy would think of it as is robots don't have like any kind of emotional intelligence to gauge somebody. It's just, are you a threat or are you not a threat?
Sure.
So we're trying very hard to make ourselves not look like a threat right now, or at least that's what
Yeah,
the
so I
distro
think there's a brief. There's probably like maybe as much as like 2 minutes where nothing happens, and you're getting kind of nervous and probably wondering what you should do. And then nobody comes out, but you get a wireless response. It's again just in the same way that yours was, just kind of like broad spectrum broadcast across the area. Mate, you pick it up on your disc drone projector, and you are not able to decipher it. It's like it's written in another language or something. Mate, you do decipher it because it is written in network.
Okay, so 3 of 6
and-
has no idea what it's saying back, but mate may be able to.
Yep. So, mate, you get a broad spectrum. You heard Roy's message before, and now you're getting a broad spectrum response that you pick up that is basically saying, I know you can't understand me, but we don't want any trouble with you. Please leave. Me?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything to the group. I'm gonna leave my coat and I'm gonna follow the distone projector.
Nice.
Well, 3 of 6 doesn't know what it said either, so
Yeah, it's super confused. I sent it a message to calm down.
Okay. You are leaving your coat behind, so I would love if I had a really good mate sprite that looks like a naked mate. And I'm trying to decide what that looks like. This is I can work with this. Okay. Because you have stripped off all of your clothing, let me go to token layer. Mike, how does this suit you for a sans clothing mate?
Yeah, I was going for like, it's probably just Robo from Chrono Trigger, but that also works too.
So the other one I had on hand
Robopop.
that I was considering was where is it? Oh come on, I just saw it. This guy from Breath of Fire 4, who is absolutely delightful, but is wearing a cape, so kind of.
that guy.
Maybe we could just suspend our disbelief and say there's
Okay,
no
well-
cape. I like him.
Character's
Yeah,
name
I like it.
Urshin or Urshwin or something like that. Fuck, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
Yeah. Okay, so mate, you now you do have a physical body and you can't just hop straight up this cliff. So you are
I can. I have extendable arms.
Yes, you do. Okay. So you extendo arm and then extendo pull up.
Yes.
Um
Just go gadget.
okay, so you arrive up there. The rest of the party is probably wondering what you're doing. Do you tell the rest of the party to stay back?
Yeah, I motioned for them to stay back because something is very off. And
Roy
I don't
is-
think that they should be
Roy
there.
is pinging you through 3 of 6 repeatedly to try to find out what this message that we received or what data we received, what it was. I don't think that you're telling Roy though.
No, it's like I got the quick translation and it was enough to make me want to go investigate.
Word.
Are you you're going, not that it would necessarily be much protection against the kind of danger that I think you're facing, but are you bringing your guns?
I mean, my guns are here because they're kind of like I have like bolted holes
I just want to make sure you know that 3 of 6's combat proficiency is at 0, basically. Gotcha.
Like, I don't
So you're-
want
So-
whatever network person
so-
or terminal this is to see me as a threat.
You're pulling a Eldridge Cleaver and Little Bobby Hutton, as
Yep.
in, get naked and the cops won't shoot you.
That's all you can do.
Wow.
Okay, so you walk forward, mate. Okay, you walk forward. Do you send any message, or are you just going to walk into the clearing?
Would you allow for me to send basically when it does the call, I send the standard network response, or is that something I don't know anymore?
I think
Like, was I able to recover that?
because you had that deep dive and recovered so much of your information. I think
Yeah, that thing that we did that almost messed you up helps.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would send back a standard network call, like a network response.
yeah, and it's not like a polite greeting. It's just like signal received kind of thing, right?
So this
Yep,
would be
acknowledged.
interesting because they first received 3 of 6's info, which was in like the common organic language, I guess. But now they're receiving network language back.
Yeah, you sent binary, I sent wingdings.
Right.
Okay.
Ren,
Yeah.
I got a family zoo.
Okay.
You know.
Good. Thank you for the heads up. Okay, mate, you get a message back before anybody comes out or anything. You get a message that says, "Is the terminal sending this still connected to the network?"
Who in the party taught me to lie?
Who was it? Someone. I remember that.
If it's no one, then I'm gonna say
I think
say
Roy
no.
may have.
But if someone went out of their way to teach me,
Hmm.
then I'm going to say yes.
No, somebody did. I think it was Roy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Roy taught you how to lie, but it wasn't just like, ooh, we're lying. It was just like, we are practicing subterfuge to trick organics.
Okay.
So basically, you're using something that we do to organics back on a network. So
Yeah. Then
mate's
I
going
would,
to a dark place.
I would say yes.
Okay. There is no response.
Oh shit. Hmm.
Hands on hips. I send out another response.
What do you send?
3 of 6 is buzzing around you like an angry gnat right now.
You're really doing a lot. 3 of 6. Is there any way 3 of 6 could like scout further and see if they could see whatever it might have been that was like connected to the network? Or is there any way that I could expand my like is there any way that I could expand my range to figure out where the signal's being sent from?
Let me look through 3 of 6's abilities real quick.
I'll give you so you can do either option. While Roy is deciding whether that's an option, mate, do you want to I feel like this would be a hardware check because you're not
because this isn't a thing that I just have on hand. Like I have to basically fake some kind of proxy key that's like, no, I'm legit.
Yeah.
So what the disc drum projector can do is it can create a holographic lens around you so that you can basically look closely at things or more closely at things or look to a distance that you couldn't achieve from your current position. But Roy doesn't want to send the disc drum projector further because something seems amiss.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I'm gonna make the hardware check. I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
And the disc drum projector will basically magnify whatever mate does.
Oh, mate. Very good. Very good. Very good.
That seems to be on theme, so I think that actually makes sense.
Okay.
Damn.
Like, I should have failed that. I should not have passed that check.
Whatever they have in place is whatever sent that message to you has put precautions in place to scramble the like sending location of their signal, and interestingly, you notice that the precautions they put in place are specifically geared towards protecting them against network investigation.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, that's fair. I don't think it would be wise for Mate to press on alone, so Mate's gonna go back to the group and get dressed. And it's not weird because I'm a robot.
Yeah. So you guys are going to do an armed invasion.
Yeah, I think that's the only way that this works, and we should probably pull the distro back because I feel really bad about putting
3 of 6 is still flipping
the chopping block.
Okay, so are you guys just going to, as a group, like slowly march into the city?
Ruda has no idea what's going on. He just heard a bunch of beeps and boops.
Oh, yeah.
I would have known Ruda would be the type just like, what the hell is taking so long? And then just starts barging ahead of everyone.
Yeah, he's about to.
Yeah, I think at the very least, I don't want to tip my hand at like my failure because I feel bad about that. But I will let them know that I think that this might be a more serious issue than whatever was being presented before.
Well,
There's
I
some
think
bullshit
that
going on.
I think that with the magnification that the disc drone projector did on your hardware roll, I mean, it didn't add any points to it, but Bryn, would it be all right if like Mate at least knows why it failed?
Yeah.
Like,
so Mate knows that they Mate. So that was what I gave earlier. Mate knows that there's something scrambling the location, and that the thing that is scrambling the location is specifically scrambling against network tools.
Yeah, like I'm kind of no use here trying to investigate because it's not going to work for me. But
Roy is
unfortunately, no one else
pestering
can-
you now to share the information with the rest of the party, or at least with him.
Okay,
Like,
no.
what the hell was this? Why did you get naked? Why did you walk up there? Why did you walk back? What is going on, mate?
You taught me not to explain myself to organics, so I'll explain myself to you. And I share what my issue was with trying to do a networked investigation, and that like the logs came back all scrambled and errored. So I really can't get much more detail on this space here, and it's kind of freaking me out.
While there wasn't much detail in that explanation, Roy feels a surge of pride as he is acknowledged for one of the first times as a not organic.
Damn, that's valid. Okay.
Yeah, if Ruda or Amil or Aveline want to move forward, Mate at this point doesn't feel the need to try to stop them, but also is not cautioning against like the advance.
Mm-hmm.
Well-
Ruda's just like, what's going on? What's happening? Are there demons?
Buddy, this isn't demons. This is like internet problems. It's a bad router.
Yo, do you need my sword? I have a
Maybe.
flamethrower.
I'm just gonna pull out my 2 pistols and go like and just point forward. That's what we need to do.
All right, and the Ruda just like
That's enough for me.
takes out his flamethrower and just goes.
I have my legs there.
Oh shit, he's got the flamethrower and the swords out.
Climb up this, climb that, and
Okay.
then I try to get in a tree to be like a sniper's nest.
Okay. So I thought I was gonna go a different direction with this and need another map, but I think I can work with this. So Amil is in this tree. Everyone else has climbed forward and is up on this this like circle like greeting hall kind of place. Yeah, I have a lot that I could say about the architecture and stuff, but I think that the thing that I should start with is, first of all, is everybody joining?
I think of the disc drone projector is like hanging back basically, because like I said, it's not really much of an effect in combat. I can do a few little things, but nothing effective really.
Samantha and
I think
Anne are walking back with you.
Anybody noticed the hesitance of the disc drone, it would have been Aveline.
Okay, so you guys approach, and I think there's nothing. Mate, you cross over the building and you start like approaching this hillside here, which is like the next step to entering the building. And then a thing happens, and I need to grab a sprite.
A thing?
Yeah. Okay. Mate, can you roll acrobatics?
I'm sure that I can. I'm sure I shouldn't.
He's a blocky robot.
Actually, my acrobatics
shit!
is real high. I forgot.
Yeah, because that's your rain dodge ability. Okay, mate. So you step out of the way, and then you see this thing climb out of the dirt ahead of you, where it had been disguised under
shit.
some like
This music change.
and stuff that it had piled itself under, and it stands up, and it is a network robot. It's a network terminal, much like yourself. This one is a different model and looks like it was maybe a warfare model at one point, because it has a big like turret sticking out of its chest. But it when you approach, it says, why are you doing this? We don't have a problem with you. We just want to be left alone. Please leave and forget we were ever here. And it says that as a network signal.
Ruda's like, yo, robot, you're about to die.
Me?
The disc drone projector, is 3 of 6 is flipping out.
Yep.
No, this guy.
It's like circling around Ruda's head right now, just like, what are you doing?
And
Okay.
Ruda,
Roy is shouting through his speaker, pull back, Ruda, pull back. This is not a good situation.
Mike, it's all on you, man.
Okay, so I'll lower my pistols and kind of send out in network code. Please lower your weapons. What is it that you want from us?
Okay. Seeing you lower your weapons, Ruda, when you see Mate lower his weapons, do you lower yours?
yeah. Ruda's very confused right now, but he's kind of following Mate's lead.
Okay.
Because all he hears is like beeps and boops.
Yeah, so the terminal up the hill slowly retracts its cannon back into its chest and takes a few steps back. And you asked, what do you want?
Yeah. I know it said to leave, but I'm like, it has to be. It's something more than that.
They
What do you want from us?
They respond with, we just want to live our lives and be left alone. We didn't choose. It's not our fault that we couldn't stay with you. We had to leave, and we're not going back. And if you come and insist on taking us, we will self-terminate.
Whoa.
Okay. Mate holsters their gun, well, their pistols, both guns, and starts to approach, kind of like hands up, and sends back just standard network code of, well, I'm not here to do that. We're not here to do that. And there's just something we need past here. And if you could help us with that, we will be on our way.
Okay, so it sends back to you, are you here to take us back?
I'm going to send back the confused dude emoji. I'm going to take you back where? I'm not here to take you anything.
Are you here to take us back to the network?
What happened when we were? This is a question to the DM now. What happened when I was disconnected from the network? Like, I know it was like there's like a shut off from like particular information that we have access to, but I'm kind of wondering, is there anything that I would have on my like local my local drive that would prove that I'm no longer networked myself?
I mean, you could start by just saying that you're not networked, because it asked if you were networked, and you said yes.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so I'm gonna send a very angry text message to Rory and say, like, you made me lie to a robot, and I didn't like that. So yeah, I will repeat to the network machine or non-network machine that I'm like you. I don't ever want to go back to that.
Roy is a bit confused, but okay.
Yeah, actually, my follow up to that would be: is there for my orgs over here? Do you speak common?
I think it waits a second, and then it sends back in. It kind of announces in like network code, like language pack downloaded, and then it says out loud in common, "Why did you lie to us?"
So hold up, but pause. When did Roy tell you to lie to a robot?
I asked you if like who taught me to lie, and
Roy
you
taught
said it was
Oh,
you. You
oh,
taught me to
okay.
lie. It was you, dog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I never told you to lie to robots.
Oh, come on. I just assumed that we lied to everyone. Why else did you teach me to lie?
Okay. There needs to be clarification about certain things in the
Yeah,
future.
there sure does.
But I
let
think
you,
I've
like, rummage
demonstrated-
around in my code. We need
I
to
think
be a
I've
little bit more
demonstrated that
open.
I consider organics and us two different things.
See, you didn't clarify that for me. Sorry. I'm putting that on you.
Roy doesn't feel good about that.
Neither does. Oh, so I'm gonna kind of slowly creep forward and continue walking towards the machine, and just ask, like, what's your name? What's your designation? And I'm sorry that I lied. I learned from a pretty bad friend to do that.
Hey,
So 3 of 6 goes boop, 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 and just kind of sinks down a little bit.
like, give me a name for this. Something that that can be a few-digit acronym with also and.
I'll have to come up with an acronym later, but I would like him to be named Torvos.
Boros?
Torvos, Torvos. Actually, scratch that. His name is Pascal.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Pascal. I think his designation has a 4 in it somewhere. So you find Pascal. What was your question? Okay, so it tells you, it sends back that its designation is Pascal, and
Oh, I should probably change this music. Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
No, I like it. It's good.
I like it too, but we're not killing each other, so.
Aw, we might still kill each other.
If we do, I'll change it back.
oh,
Alright,
this
so-
is appropriate.
Yeah,
So
I
at
figured.
some point here, because of what Mate just told Torvus,
Pascal.
Pascal, sorry. 3 of 6 is going to project Roy. Roy's not going to be here at all, but I mean,
We've got a hologram.
yeah, it's going to be a hologram basically. But 3 of 6 is going to project Roy, but it's going to be a different iteration of Roy than what you all have seen. This iteration of Roy will look 100% robotic. It will still look like his like it'll still be the shape of or whatever of his organic form, but it'll be like metal skin and like wire hair and stuff like that.
So it's the meat sack sans the meat.
So basically, Roy is continuing to lie to these robots about what he is because he is ashamed of his organic self and doesn't want to show that he's organic.
Oh man, that's sad.
Roy's not a happy man. If he
Very
even
good.
knows what happiness is.
Okay.
So at some point, Roy is going to approach and talk to Pascal.
So, mate, we're close to like resolving this scene, but we still need to, achieve homeostasis.
Yeah.
Pascal, so you have admitted that you are not here to take them back, and
No, in all honesty, I'm actually enthralled that he says that there are more of them. I can't just leave this. I think I would probably turn back to Ruda and Aveline and Amil and just go, I don't know if this is for you to stay here, but I think I need some time to be amongst. I guess I would probably even just go like my friends. Can I get some
Okay.
space?
You see Amil like in the distance up in a tree go, what?
Oh yeah, that's right, because you were getting ready to snipe.
Oh God, Amil, your sniper rifle. Oh God.
Yeah, please stand down.
Rude is like, is this a
Don't accidentally shoot this robot. Wink, wink.
was this a bad breakup or something, robot? What happened?
No, it actually, yeah, I think I can explain it that way. You know how sometimes when you have more than 3 pan-galactic garble blasters?
Bro, I've been there.
Yeah, so imagine if you had 5.
Oh God.
Okay. So it's like that.
Ruda slaps Mate on the back really hard. He's like, bro, I feel you.
this
I'm
is
gonna
fun.
go do some chin-ups in a tree.
I don't think we've discussed the height difference between these two in a while, but Ruda is very big
Mhm.
and Mate is very short.
Yeah,
Mate
he,
is like 4'9".
yeah, he had to like bend down and do it.
You do get an email. You get an email from me that just has an attachment, and it's just like my crosshairs on like the person you're talking to, and the subject line is "You good?"
I'm gonna just send back all caps. Yes, very. Don't do it. Things
Roy
are different.
sends a message.
I reply all. Okay, see you on the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, Ruda's gonna leave with a bill.
Okay. So everybody's leaving. Roy, do you want to leave?
No. The whole reason Roy went into this whole faux robot mode is because he wants to talk to
Okay.
these mechanical beings.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so everybody else is kind of backing off and is going to wait back at the ship. Mate and Roy are proceeding. So Mate, do you explain to Pascal that you are a, like, network disconnected terminal?
I think the way that I decide to like move forward with our like handshake is I'm just gonna share the like raw video of the planet being destroyed and kind of like my last moments being a part of the network, because I feel like I get at least that, and then there's like nothing else after it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think Pascal is going to share back a a video, well, a kind of like sequential memory file of them being a guardian over a young but developing civilization, much like yours, except theirs was further along than yours, closer to like ours, where ours is now. And you remember that the network's whole thing is they protect developing planets, but not developed planets.
Mhm.
And Pascal's civilization reached the point of spaceflight and met other species, and Pascal was ordered to leave and go to another post, and that is when they decided to disconnect. And then they post a couple images of like network hunters, which are
Agent Smiths.
Yeah, they're drones that would be sent out to do reconnaissance on a planet that had been lost to Xenocians to like get the lay of the land, and also can be used to apparently hunt down lost terminals. And then kind of you get a sequence of them running from the network until they found this place. So there's just kind of like 3 different memories associated there.
Okay.
So
I think Roy has a few questions.
Okay. It has fully retracted its canon at this point, and it says, if you are... I guess there's no need to question at this point. Would you like to join us?
Absolutely. Like, without question.
Okay.
Mate, wait.
I look
Before
back at
you-
Roy and question mark.
Before
Tilts
you
their
make
head
any decisions on how to proceed, we need to learn more about these things first. And then Roy would turn to Pascal and explain this weird feeling of familiarity that he has with this world, although he has never actually been here in memory, and tells them why they're there, talks about the search for this organic's father, a machine that he possibly possesses, and asks if they can review any land around us that would point us in that direction, toward that machine or toward that individual, and if they'd be willing to review a part of Roy's source code to see if they know anything about what he is.
How would you express source code to them?
So you know how like data is basically transferred in the universe via light, and Roy controls divine light. I think that I'd be able to give them some sort of, or create some sort of fiber optic connection with the disc drone, if with their permission, and share some code with them that way.
That would be interesting. Okay, so that's a very advanced thing. We'll circle back to that. To start with, I think they say that before they do any investigation, there's no like long-term decisions have to be made, but they should, now that they know that they're not supposed to fear you, they need to go, Pascal needs to go send the all clear message and then invite the others out to meet their new sibling.
Okay. I think that makes sense.
Okay, so
Mate isn't really showing it because it has to be a projection, and they're trying to hide kind of how they're feeling, but like they're overjoyed to be around any other networked individuals. Like,
and not only networked individuals, but disconnected network terminals.
Yeah, this is a turn of events that Mate was coming here to look for some whiny kid's dad.
Okay, so I'm going to start dropping in a few others. They're going to do like a meet and greet in the the circle here at the center, and they ask if your organic friends would like to join.
I'll send a quick like text blast back to the ship and push it back through like our online system and basically just ask the online like ship AI to go, hey, does anyone want to come meet some of my friends? Oh, I like him.
Party, are you
This here's Big Bot.
This is Big Bot. What does he do? He's just big.
All things big.
Party members, are you guys gonna come?
Sure.
Yes.
Also, Brent, I gotta go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I don't know if this ends up being like a good cutoff point for this conversation, and we just pick this back
I
up.
think this is the perfect place to end this episode. It was a short episode, but it got where I wanted it to get to, which I'm very happy about. Also, I'm happy that we managed to get both this and the completely unexpected cameo thing, the short scene that we had earlier.
Yeah, that was really dope. So I think my question back out to the DM and kind of to the group as a whole is, what are we again expecting to get out of this encounter? Is it just information, or do we think that something is here? Like, do we think that the Duke left something here?
So because they were stealing things, the party made the assumption that maybe they had like kidnapped the Duke or somehow like stolen something that would be associated with him.
Hence Roy's question toward them.
But now that you know that they are just like citizens of this planet, they still might be valuable resources in addition to being able to, you know, teach Mate about their background and stuff. Okay, so I think this is gonna be it. I think these are the citizens of the terminal village, terminal town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm digging it.
So yeah, Roy still thinks that they may have some information about the machine or the person that we're looking for, and that they may have some information maybe about the tower that Roy's physical self is still sitting outside
that's
of.
right. You were straight outside that tower.
And also there's still that whole point that we talked about when we first got to this planet about Roy feeling some connection or familiarity with this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Here he finds other robotic people on this planet, but they seem to be of the network and to have more knowledge about Mate. And they immediately started referring to Mate as a sibling and as a brother. So Roy does not trust them. Roy, though, is disappointed in his confusion about the use of, or Mate's confusion about the use of subterfuge, and feels that Mate has gone the fully opposite direction and is going to start giving them too much information about us. So
hey Rory, that's
Roy's
very on brand for Mate, so get ready.
Yeah, you remember that Trojan? Yeah, I only partially shut it down.
So
No, I'm kidding. It's
going
gone. It's
to,
gone.
I think that this is where we're going to end it, and we're going to end it with, I think before they have, so before we do, before they get into like serious conversations, now that they've established that there's like no danger and that you guys are like them, well, at least Mate is like them, I think they want to basically do like a meet and greet potluck, except because they're network terminals, they don't eat food. So instead what they do for their equivalent of the potluck is they bring out their
Bowls of oil.
No, I was gonna say they bring out their trinkets, because one thing that every disconnected network terminal has in common is that they find things they think are neat and collect them. And so they start bringing out things they have that they thought were neat.
Oh, that's great.
And that's, I think, how we're going to end it, with them kind of introducing themselves to the whole party by showing you all of their favorite stuff.
That's cool. Bren, I will DM you later some names.
Yeah.
All these sprites are so cute.
Right? They're very good. Did you see the big eyeball?
I did see the big eyeball. That's one's my favorite.
I think this one is my favorite.
Oh, really? My second favorite's the big arms too.
Yeah, I need to make Pascal a little bigger here.
This is the island of lost terminals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them all very much. Okay, so that is where we will pick it up next game.
Can we have all these network things just like a former like war mech that replaced all of his guns with like origami folding things, and he presents you with like little like folded aluminum foil statues?
I like that. This guy here is a frontline anti-Xenocian mech that has PTSD and that's the reason that he's not the one that came out to protect the village, because he's deeply traumatized by war.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
They're so cute. We must protect them.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun meet and greet.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, there is one little detail that I want to drop because I wrote it down and it's not plot relevant, but I thought it was really funny because I was trying to come up with, all right, but clearly these disconnected network terminals have a way of finding each other and getting each other to all come here. So how did Mate not get found? And what it ended up being, I think after a bit, they show you the ad that they had put out there. I have to pull up my my note for the exact wording, because they had put out an ad to inform other disconnected network terminals that they exist, and to come meet them there. And so they show you this ad they put out, and it's like a Craigslist ad, but it's written in all network base code, and it reads, "Are you a disconnected network terminal? Come meet us at these coordinates for more information. This is not a trap." Nate, you did in fact run across that several months ago and ignored it because you were convinced it was a trap.
Yeah, that was
And I
like, this
see
is a
why Roy
scam.
doesn't trust him.
Because I am a mechanic class, I don't know if they have an internal factor here that like does all of their repairs, but I'm just gonna like offer to them like, does anybody have any like loose bolts, or like before we leave, does anybody have any like loose bolts or things they want fixed?
That's fantastic.
I'm gonna offer that to them as like for free.
Yeah, so I think that for one thing, it'll be interesting because they are not made using standard like technological ideas. They are network machines,
Right.
which means they have different like ideas behind how they work.
Yeah.
But I definitely think they would appreciate the help, because their biggest issue is that Mate is probably the most like humanoid shaped of any of them, and has, you know, like very functional like hands and stuff. The vast majority of them don't have hands, and the one who does have hands has just real big hands. And so they've been really struggling with things.
Maintenance is hard. It's hard to hold a Nintendo Switch controller when your hands are that big.
Exactly.
Oh my god. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna crack my knuckles and be like, let's get to work.
I love it. Okay, so that's where we'll pick it up next game, and there's so much fun we can have with this. I'm really glad we finally got here. I was so busy in our like first game in this planet, just getting you guys on track for like moving the plot forward, that I forgot that this village existed and that I like had to get you guys to this village before the end of the level. And then I was like, no shit, you guys are already on the southern continent. How do I go back there? Go back.
That's good. It's a good thing we investigated. I'm very happy about this.
You could have called Homotema, and she said she heard a rumor. Yeah, that was my bad. I'm glad we managed to fix that in this game. Okay, so we will pick this up next time.
All right. Bye,
Cool.
everybody.
All right, Joe.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Have a good week. See y'all.
Bye.
Good week, excuse me.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.